What's the most evil thing anyone has ever done to you? My parents died when I was 12. Car crash on Highway 85, just coming back from my Little League game. I remember being in the hospital waiting room, still wearing my dirty uniform, when my Aunt Naomi showed up crying and telling everyone she'd take care of me. Everyone called her a hero. The family, the neighbors, even people at church were like, what an angel, taking in poor little Luis. She ate it up, posting about it on Facebook, talking about what a blessing I was. But what nobody knew was that Naomi had racked up 40 grand in debt and had a serious gambling problem. See, my parents weren't rich, but they were smart. They had this life insurance policy that would cover everything: college, living costs, therapy, whatever I needed. The money got put in a trust with Naomi managing it until I turned 18. She was supposed to use it for my needs and save the rest for my future. That first year, things seemed normal. She'd buy me school clothes, pay for football fees, take me to get haircuts. But I started noticing weird stuff. Like when I asked for new cleats because mine had holes, she'd say we couldn't afford it. When other kids went on field trips, she'd claim the money was tied up in investments. By 14, I was working weekends at this auto shop just to have lunch money. She told everyone I was learning responsibility, but really she was keeping every penny of that insurance money for herself. I found out later she was forging receipts, like she'd buy a $20 backpack from Walmart, then doctor the receipt to say $200 and submit it to the bank. She told them she was homeschooling me and needed money for educational materials. She wasn't homeschooling me. I was in regular public school. The worst part was watching her blow money at the casino. She'd disappear for hours, come back drunk and broke, then yell at me for leaving lights on because we couldn't afford the electric bill. Meanwhile, my college fund was getting drained for her poker nights and online gambling. When I graduated high school, I was excited to finally access the money for college. I walked into that bank thinking I'd have enough to go anywhere I wanted. The banker looked uncomfortable and pulled up the account. There was $127 left. I nearly threw up right there in the lobby. 6 years of careful planning by my parents, gone. Naomi had taken everything. She tried telling me the market had wiped it out, that the 2008 recession got us. But I'm not stupid. I requested the bank statements and saw transfer after transfer to DraftKings, Caesars Casino, Venmo payments labeled Poker Night, and Girls Trip to Vegas. I went to the police, but they basically shrugged. Technically, she had legal authority to manage the funds. Even though she lied about the expenses, even though she stole from an orphaned kid, it wasn't criminal, just immoral. So I had to take out student loans for everything. Worked nights at a warehouse while going to community college during the day. Lived in my car for 3 months because I couldn't afford rent and tuition at the same time. But here's the really evil part. When family members started asking why I wasn't going to a good college with all that insurance money, Naomi told them I was ungrateful and always difficult. She said I'd blown the money on video games and refused to listen to her financial advice. Some of my own relatives stopped talking to me because they thought I was just a spoiled brat who wasted my parents' sacrifice. It took me 8 years to graduate college instead of 4. 8 years of night shifts and ramen noodles and sleeping in my car. 8 years of watching other kids get help from their families while mine thought I was a screw-up. Last month, I finally saved enough to hire a lawyer and get all the bank records. Turns out she took over 180 grand total. Not just the insurance money, but savings my parents had, bonds they'd bought for my birthday, everything. The lawyer says I might be able to get some back in civil court, but Naomi filed for bankruptcy last year. She lost her house to foreclosure and is living in some apartment complex now. There's nothing left to take.